Hey everybody, it's Gypsy and welcome to On the Edge of Appalachia. Today is Saturday, August 9th, 2025. So it is time for my Saturday garden tour. So it's going to be a little busier. I usually do this in the morning and it's afternoon, so it's going to be noisy because of, the traffic. I live on a state route. It's horrible. And people are just outside doing stuff. So let's see. The cottage garden, nothing much has changed in there because I haven't really had a chance to get to it this week. My trellis is looking lovely. I got another moss rose in my fairy garden. Isn't that beautiful? It looks like I have more roses coming. I see little buds on this one. The little one over here, I don't know. It's not doing much of anything. So over here are my Napoli tomatoes. Like I said, my tomatoes, the large ones, are not ripening this year. I don't know why. I saw a memory in my Google Photos from a year ago yesterday, and it was photos of all these massive amounts of tomatoes ripened that I had. And I have more tomato plants this year than I did last year. They just don't want to turn red. These, I was going to take the bigger ones off. However, where'd they go? The girls, the chickens, are sneaking in here and eating green tomatoes. They must be southern chickens, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, let's see. So I have deemed this year the summer of garden attacks. Started with the Japanese beetle. Ooh, that was a difficult one to take care of. Too late for a lot of my bean plants and my corn. Very disappointed about the corn because the beetles they actually will climb inside the husks and eat your kernels of corn, I found out. Disgusting. So anyways, let's see. That's the June bearing strawberries. They're doing good. Well, I just watered in here about an hour ago. It doesn't even look like it. These are my ever bearing. And I was having trouble with these. Could have been pests getting these to produce this year. They are producing now. Not as good as last season. But it is better than it was the rest of the summer. Anyways, the grapes, they have slowed down. I think it was because of the Japanese beetles. My pumpkins are doing fantastic. I harvested my first sugar pie pumpkin. I have, as you can see, right, come on, there. I have a lot more coming. I think I have 2 more that are almost right. But what I'm seeing here, I'm hearing a bad dog barking. See how, right, the edges of the leaves on my pumpkin, I just noticed this morning, they are turning yellow. So I'm thinking, is it nitrogen deficiency? And if so, how do I get under these massive plants to feed them and give them more nitrogen? Or did the beetles or aphids or something, I don't know, not really. Let me see, this one's yellow. Let me look over here. Come here. Sometimes it's good to use a cane because it's good for reaching and stuff. Yeah. I'm not seeing, don't think I'm seeing any aphids attacks. Or it could be because I remember this happened last year. Once I started harvesting pumpkins, I started getting yellow leaves. But I'm going to trim those off, try to figure out what's going on. So, I don't know. We'll see. Oh, let me see here. So anyways, I also this week had a horrible deer attacks twice on my garden. They ate my rattlesnake beans, my honeydew, and look at this poor sunflower has had it. So, thankfully, a viewer recommended Liquid Fence. I applied it last night and no deer attacks. So let's go into the enclosed garden. So my tomatoes in here, I think they're the Ace 55s. They were full size, not turning red though. Started to worry that they'll split. So I picked those and I'm letting them ripen inside. Now these, not sure what these are here. I don't know. The sun is making it hard to see the screen. Those there, they're turning red. Anything from like my Mexico Midget cherry tomatoes to that size, they're ripening. My bigger tomatoes are not, like the Napoli and the Ace 55s. So I picked a bunch of them and I'm just letting them ripen in the house because I don't want them to split. Now over here is, I'm trying to get my shadow out of the way. These are, come on. This is a weird angle. Let me get over this way. That is chichiri beans. Pretty little plant. Which are garbanzo beans. It's just what my family calls them, chichiri beans. I planted a whole package, and I only have 4 coming up. I don't know what that's about, but they sure are pretty. I have a whole bunch of, I have provider beans, and rattlesnake beans I have to harvest today. The pepperoncini is doing good. Except, so you want to catch them before they turn. You want to get them green. I missed, I don't know if you can see it. I missed this one. And it turned red. I hope you can see that. So these are more provider beans. They're growing great. I have to get some stakes or trellises here. These are Kentucky Wonder Pole beans. So they're going to need support. I am not sure what the heck happened with my cucumbers. Now last year, I planted Russian pickling cucumbers. I had 2 plants, more cucumbers than I knew what to do with last year. I planted 4 over here. 1 died. I think I got 3 cucumbers off this thing and it stopped growing, even though I see a blossom up there. It is not doing anything. It's just, I don't know what's going on, but next year I'm going to go back to the Russian pickling cucumbers. I did, however, plant, I got to do something about that one. I planted a few here, and they seem to be doing okay for the moment. My beans, and more tomatoes over here, doing fantastic. These are, I have rattlesnake beans and Cherokee black beans over here. I think my carrots, my little carrots, the Parisian market, I have in a pot over on the other side there, have started sprouting. So I'm sure I have to go. It is so hot today. It doesn't even look like I just watered. I'm going to have to come back out. So Monday, today's Saturday, Monday over here, I sowed some kale seeds. So that was 5 days ago. I noticed this morning, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah. They're sprouting. I have a bunch of little sprouts here. Oh, my pepper plants. They're doing good. This little one is really produced. I think these are jalapenos. The bigger plants are just not doing quite as well. I see they have some, well, there's a strange looking bell pepper. They have a little bit, but not as much as like the jalapeno. I find hot peppers are much easier to grow than sweet peppers, and I don't know why. Let me see. I just harvested. These are Ideal Market pole beans. Harvested a bunch of these the other day. I had more coming, but I'm not seeing any ready to harvest here. So this morning what I did was I turned and amended this strip right along my eastern fence, and I created a trellis, because for this I don't need anything real strong, out of bamboo and twine. This is 100% cotton. And then I planted 120 of these peas. These are called Mammoth Melting Snow Peas, and they just sound so good. My family loves snow peas, so I'm seeing a lot of stir fries in our future. So these are going to be the snow peas. I have 120. They're called Lincoln peas. Those are Shelly peas. I want to find a spot for those. I have to do those next. Let me see. Anything else? Those peppers are doing good too. Pinocchio's doing good. The fennel. Let's go over here. I think I might have another pumpkin that's about ready. I think I'm going to have plenty of pumpkin to puree for myself and to sell at my booth. It's looking really good. That baby one. It was little itty bitty tiny one I showed you last Saturday. Look at it this week. It is just grows so fast. And I have a whole bunch more blossoms in here. I have to climb in there and get the yellowing ones off. But anyways, I just have so many that are turning orange. And then I have so many new ones popping up. And I finally have a little gourd. Don't know if you can see it over there. So I have to go through here and do some hunting. It's a little hard when you have a plant like pumpkins. It's like swimming in a sea of large leaves. So I have to go hunting through here. But anyways, that is, I think, everything on my tour today. I'm going to leave you with that. Blessed be, and make it a joyful one.